February had always been the hardest month for Nika. Not because of the cold, she could handle the cold. Not because of the darkness. Sometimes darkness was even comforting. She hated February because it felt like a pause in life, that strange space between not yet and almost. Every morning, she opened a small coffee shop near the metro, a warm little refuge that smelled of cinnamon and the quiet hope of a better day. Coffee, smile, change, have a nice day. Then again the grinding of beans, the hiss of steam, the sound of hurried footsteps. She lived on autopilot. Home, work, sleep. A life where everything was in its place, and yet nothing truly belonged to her. Until one ordinary morning a girl walked in with a camera slung over her shoulder. "Latte with oat milk, please," the girl said. Her voice was low, slightly hoarse, but gentle. Her eyes, gray-green, tired but kind. Her hair, messy from the snow. Nika handed her the cup. The girl smiled and said, "Thank you. You're the first person to smile at me today." She left, leaving behind the faint scent of wind and wet wool. That evening, closing up the cafe, Nika found herself remembering that smile. And for some reason she smiled back, to no one in particular. The girl started coming often. She'd sit by the window, open her laptop, and edit photos. Sometimes she brought Nika chocolate. For caffeine burnout, she'd joke. Sometimes she just sat quietly, watching the street, as if photographing the world with her eyes. One slow afternoon, Nika finally asked, "You're a photographer?"
Yes.
"Lera. And you?" "Barista. With a degree in philology no one needs." Lera grinned. "Then we both do things the world underestimates, but can't live without." That was how it began. Conversations between orders, walks after closing, small laughter at the bus stop in the dark. Lera had a way of seeing beauty where others saw nothing. She could stop on an empty street, point to a cracked wall, and say, "Look how the sunlight falls here, like it's trying to heal it." Nika started noticing such things too. It was as if the world had switched back on in color this time. They walked at night, sharing stories. Lera spoke about her travels, about people she'd photographed. Once she said, "I think I've been photographing loneliness. It's different for everyone. But yours is beautiful." Nika laughed then, though something inside her trembled. In late March, Lera showed up one evening, snow in her hair, camera in her hand. "Come with me," she said. "I want to show you something." They climbed up to the roof of an old building. The city below looked like a restless sea, lights, fog, and the hum of cars. Lera lifted her camera. "Can I take your picture?"
Why?
"Just because."
Click.
She lowered the camera and said quietly, "You know, I rarely find real light. But you have it. The stubborn kind." Wind tore at Nika's hood. Her hair whipped across her face. And for the first time in years, she felt truly alive. Spring came. The snow melted, the streets filled with puddles, the air smelled of damp earth and beginnings. Lera still came to the cafe, but now there was something new between them. Unnamed, unseen, but heavy as static before a storm. Sometimes their hands brushed, and time stopped. Sometimes their eyes met, and both looked away too quickly. It wasn't friendship anymore, but neither dared to call it anything else. One evening a thunderstorm caught them both in the cafe. Nika was about to close when Lera burst in, soaked through, rain dripping from her hair. "Mind if I stay until the end of the world?" she said with a smile. Nika laughed. "If it's tonight, sure." They sat by the window, watching the downpour blur the city into watercolor. Lera spoke quietly. "You know, I keep thinking my life's fine. Really. But something's missing." "What?"
Warmth.
"Just warmth." Nika looked at her and realized here she was. The person who didn't hide. Who made the world feel real again. Lightning flashed, the lights flickered, and in that half-dark Lera whispered, "Nika, may I?" She didn't finish. She simply leaned closer. And the world went silent. The kiss was gentle, careful, hesitant, like sunlight touching ice. Nika tasted rain, coffee, and something she couldn't name, Something that finally felt right. No fear, no pretending, no what will people think. Just the warmth of being seen. In that brief moment, the whole world came together. After that night, everything shifted. Not dramatically, softly, naturally. Lera started staying over. See you tomorrow turned into see you in the morning. They didn't talk about love, they just lived it. Sometimes Lera left for shoots. Nika missed her so much the coffee tasted bitter. Sometimes they argued about nothing and everything, but they always found their way back. People noticed. Some whispered, some stared. But Nika no longer hid. Let them talk, she said once. They wouldn't understand anyway. Then they don't need to, Lera replied. A year passed. February again. But Nika didn't hate it anymore. The cafe smelled of cinnamon and warm bread. Outside, snow fell softly, lazy, beautiful flakes. Lera had just opened a photo exhibition, When the Ice Melts. A series about people who found light in their darkness. One of the portraits was of Nika, behind a cafe counter, smiling, bathed in morning sun. The caption read, "Sometimes love is simply allowing yourself not to hide." Late that evening, Lera came to the cafe again. It was empty, quiet. The city lights shimmered in the window. She put her camera on the counter and said, I keep thinking, how did it all start? With coffee, Nika smiled. And a smile.
No.
With February. Why February? Because it's the coldest month, and only then you learn how much warmth really matters. Lera stepped closer, leaned in, and again that kiss. Soft, calm, sure. No fear. No masks. Just two people who finally stopped pretending. Outside, snow was still falling. But inside, it already smelled like spring.